What more could I ask for? Beautiful life. Beautiful life. We got beautiful life. I got a beautiful life. Beautiful life. And now we all been blessed to be here, so it ain't no need for stress. We don't worry about the things that we can't control. We just pray and hope for the best. You don't need a whole lot of money. You don't need no fancy car. You ain't gotta be famous or a movie star. Just be happy with who you are. You got some food on the table and a place to live, and that's a beautiful life. You got somebody you can love, family and some kids, and that's a beautiful life. You got money in your pocket just to pay your bills, and that's a beautiful life. Just to make it through the struggle and you still be here. Now that's a beautiful life.
Okay, wind me up. DC, stand up. The Godfather, I got you. You spoiling me now. 6 years later, still the talk of the town. I put myself on, and then I put my team on too. Take home my BET. I spilled my drink on hold. Still I believe that, and I mean that. There will be no flow if you ain't sing that tune. We see police run joke. You put DC on first. I put us all on next, and now it's all on me to keep your name on deck. Okay, the Godfather. Gotta know that it's not a problem. Been in the pocket like hot tires of Saviata. Praying for a better manana. I hope I'm making you proud.
to Truth 360 by Black Dress Collaborative. I'm your host, Jennifer Jones. I'll be joined shortly by my co-host, Holly Holiday. We are excited today because we're going to be talking about love and respect, teen dating violence, and the future of our youth. We're excited today about the show, but just to get you started, we wanted to remind you how you can engage and interact with us all day today. First, you can text Truth 360 to 40691. That's Truth 360, all one word, to 40691, and that'll enter you into our database. You can follow us on Twitter at Truth 360 by BDC. You can follow us or like us on Facebook by Truth 360 by BDC, or you can email us at Truth360 at blackdresscollaborative.com. We're looking forward to having an exciting show today. We're joined by Prince George's County Assistant State's Attorney Christina Jones, and by Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Strategist and Youth Extraordinaire Leader Carlotta Wade. We'll be in touch with you in just a moment, but before we do, get ready and join us for this great song by Mary J. Blige, My Life.
If you looked in my life and see what I
Welcome back to Truth 360 by Black Dress Collaborative. On today's show, we'll be talking about domestic violence. And what I want to share with you today is that the teen years are usually an amazing time of transition. For some, these years are filled with carefree living, amazing experiences, and really just thoughts about college and the future and all of the things that are going to happen in the young adult's life when they get freedom. Unfortunately, though, for some young people, the senior year, the high school years are filled with pain, with challenges, and with heartache. And that's the discussion that we're going to have today about teen dating violence. But before we get into our topic for today's show, I want to highlight for you and share the good news that we've heard about a school in Dallas, Texas. A teacher, Scott Pankey, got an A+ for this performance that he did with his students. At A. Maceo Smith New Tech School in Dallas, Texas, the students are in a technological project-based learning environment. And Scott Pankey wanted to show the young students that education is fun, learning is fun, and he really wanted to give them a project and enable them to demonstrate their joy, their talent, their fun, their passion. So in the next video, we're going to give you just a taste of Scott Pankey's work at Maceo Smith New School when they took Bruno Mars' hit Uptown Funk and turned it into an academic and educational exploration.
Do 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 do
This is that ice cold Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Stylin', wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Stop. Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop. Skip it. I'm too hot. Call the police and the fireman. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. I said uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Come on, dance. jump on it. If you sexed and flown it, if you freak dead and own it, don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you sexed and flown it, well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh!
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Wow. I wish I had the energy of those kids, man. I'm telling you. I'm going to jump all around and do my thing and have somebody funk me up.
Well, it's all about the young people today. Welcome back to Truth 360 by Black Dress Collaborative. I'm Jennifer Jones, your co-host, joined by
Holly Holiday, live and in living color.
Well, Holly, we kicked off the show and had a little bit of fun sharing this viral video of the
and a
teacher
lot of
at a
energy.
technical institute.
I love it.
Taking a time to teach his children that education could be fun and giving them a project so all of the different groups and all of the different colors were different project groups to teach them teamwork and performance and project management. So I think it's really
and all the things that we love. And I think it is absolutely wonderful.
So share with me, Holly, what's on your mind today?
Well, as some of you with no lives may have been watching today, Attorney General candidate Lynette Lynch went for her confirmation today, and if confirmed, she will be the first African American woman to serve as Attorney General for this country. So of course, you know, the whole women thing, we're all about that. And you know, it's interesting. She is a prosecutor in New York State, a DA from Brooklyn, New York, who has, you know, 20 plus years and extensive experience. And you know, is very, very, very well respected and more than qualified for this opportunity. But it's always interesting to me when nominees are called to speak on records of people who they've never really represented. And so, again, sort of watching her confirmation hearings, probably because I need to get a grip in our life or something, but watching them, she was consistently called to defend decisions made by the Obama administration and Eric Holder, her hopefully predecessor, and the things that they have done, you know, within the Attorney General's office. And I think, you know, the one thing I can say about her, and I really do hope she's confirmed, because she had a very just top-notch showing. Yes. And she said, you know, and I like her because she had a very reasonable approach to it. Yes. Which was, look, I wasn't in the chair of decision making. However, you know, what they did was important. I mean, specifically around this Ferguson stuff, which you know is close to my heart, being from Missouri. She said, you know, what has been done and what will be done is about what's in the best interest of the American people. Yes. And she said, you know, when we look at the law, we have to not only look at what the law says, but what are the outcomes and whether or not it does what we intended to do in service to the American people. And when she said that, I was just like, yeah, That's exactly the type of thinking we need.
And I love her substance and depth, Holly. When she was first recommended and nominated, I read a tremendous amount about her because she would be the first African-American woman in the position. And what I love was that she's prosecuted cases from things involving the mafia to political criminals to dealing with things with the 9/11 and the all of the things that are going on in Iran and Iraq. Her depth and breadth of knowledge in terms of being a subject matter expert, she is more than qualified for the position.
Absolutely.
And I'm just hoping that that her confirmation process continues. She's confirmed, and that we can just get on with the business of the United States of America.
You know, these things become such political footballs, and unfortunately, she's just gonna get tossed around. It is just fascinating to watch politics in action, and in some cases, inaction. But I hope they move swiftly to confirm her, because she is worthy and would represent this country and the interest of the American people well.
Yeah, and speaking of political footballs, Holly, I have been humorously moved
I'm scared.
by just so easy. My new best friend and my favorite politician right now is the governor of Connecticut, Daniel Malloy, because he has taken such a positive, similar to the nominee for Attorney General for the United States, taking such a level-headed approach to how snowstorms and blizzards have been the ruiner of careers for politicians, whether they overreacted and underreacted. And I just can't believe when there are families, and our hearts and prayers go out to the families throughout the New England seaboard and Long Island, who were gravely impacted by the snow and the inclement weather this weekend, and to have people angry because your elected leaders dare err on the side of caution to protect you. But had the storm made a shift, you know, Long Island and Midtown Manhattan are not that far apart.
No,
and
they're not.
we're talking about 8 inches and 3 feet, and you're complaining about what? And so I've been
that is such a true statement, that storms can make or break politician's career. I mean, just 2 weeks ago when we had that scare here in the District of Columbia, which happened to be on the very first day of Muriel Bowser's administration. And the big complaint was, in fact, I had a friend who said, well, I watched the trucks line all the way up. Of course, by the time they had lined up, it had snowed already. And the snow was already starting to melt, and then here comes the snow trucks putting salt on top of the snow.
Absolutely.
So and unfortunately she had to start her first day of office
in a controversy that's weather related
about the snow.
And
so
he's for us,
right.
from the leadership and accountability standpoint, to her predecessor, you should have had your people in line. They should have been ready to take care of the city, regardless of who was sitting in the mayoral seat.
We're gonna
just duly note that and keep going.
Note to politicians: in the wintertime, it might snow. Be ready.
Exactly. And make the tough decision and stand on it. And
absolutely.
I loved Governor Malloy because he was just so practical, and he said, we don't control the weather. I will not throw the weather reporters under the bus. He was just so practical, and Chris Matthews gave him some grief last night, and so did a few other reporters. So I thought he handled himself well. They asked him, Holly, what is it that makes all of the politicians come on television in full outdoor weather gear when they're obviously
I love
indoors?
when they wear the hats.
Yes,
like
and
they
his
really
reply
sweating.
was, we wear a shirt and tie, every day, all the time. So to have the opportunity to put on some jeans and some comfortable gear,
and
we
be
all
right.
take it.
We
Exactly.
all take it.
He said, so even though I had on my shirt and tie, he was just so politically correct. I thought,
love it.
Oh, Connecticut governor for
I
president.
absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And as we head into our break, I have to give a commitment to Chancellor, D.C. School Chancellor Kayla Henderson for her commitment to minority male students in the District of Columbia. She announced this morning that DC would be investing $20 million to invest in male minority students, the crown jewel of which will be an all-boys preparatory school for targeting minority boys. And she said, and she justified, rightly so, that when you look at the achievement gaps between minority males, particularly African Americans and Latinos, it's almost 20%. And so to not take such action would be ineffective. And so they have put together this fund. I suspect most of the $20 million will go towards opening the new school.
Yes.
Location has yet to be determined, but their goal is to have it open by 2017. And, you know, I hope it works. I think sometimes single-sex and targeted education can be a good thing, and I think it is great to have that option in public education, particularly since we saw the close of the all-boys charter school closing.
Absolutely.
So it's good that they're looking for ways to provide that for the students of DC.
And it's a bold initiative. Anytime that you can move yourself towards progress and meeting the goal and objective, it's to educate the youth. And we see from, you know, institutions of higher learning like Morehouse, what that kind of environment that kind of puts you in a bubble and gives you a unilateral focus does. And there's a magnificent school I cannot remember the name of in Chicago that's an all-boys school, and their attrition rate is impeccable. For high school, 98% of the students go on to college. Most of them are on scholarship. And so I just think whatever you can do to get young people moving forward with their lives to develop themselves to the fullest of their potential is outstanding.
It's absolutely what you should do, and we want to make sure that we do that for them as it relates to education.
Absolutely.
And today we're going to talk about how we can help them do that in a social environment, which can also be very detrimental if not, you know, done right and taking precautions. And Lord knows we all have our dating horror stories. Probably most of them started when we were teenagers and had no freaking clue what we were doing. And some of us still don't really know what we're doing, but we keep working it out.
And so, Holly, I'm excited about today's show as well. So after we come back from our next song break, we're going to just hear a little bit from Mary J. Blige speaking about relationships and working it out with Method Man. You're all I need.
Oh, all right then.
You're on. Hard rock I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown that be down for whatever. There are few things that's forever. My lady, we can make war or make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies were gray, you would rub me on my back and say, baby, it'll be okay. Now that's real to a brother like me, baby. Never ever give my cootie away and keep it tight, alright? And I'ma walk these doors so we can live in a fat ass crib with thousands of kids. Well, like, you don't need a ring to be my wife. Just be there for me and I'ma make sure we be living in the effing lap of luxury. I'm realizing that you didn't have to funk with me, but you did. Now I'm going all out, kid, and I got mad love to give. You my nigga.
sacrifice to you, dedicate my life to you.
I gotta love Jones for your body and your skin tone. 5 minutes alone, I'm already on the road. Plus I love the fact you got a mind of your own. No need to shop around, you got the good stuff at home. Even if I'm locked up north, you in the world rocking 3/4 of cloth, never showing your stuff or boo. It be true, me for you, that's how it is. I be your Noah, you be my Wiz, I'm your mister, you my missus, with hugs and kisses, Valentine cards and birthday wishes. Please, we on another level of planning, of understanding the bond between man and woman and child, the highest elevation, cause we above all that romance crap, just show your love. Suck up on these. And you don't stop.
Welcome back
to Truth 360.
It is true. We are back.
Wow, Holly. We have so much going on up there. Y'all don't know. We try to calm down like, we're back. Holly, I am so excited to be joined today by our guest, Christina Jones, who is the Assistant State's Attorney in Prince George's County, Maryland. And by Carlotta Wade, who is with Maryland National Capital Park and Plan and Recreations Department. And Holly, we are here today to talk about love and respect.
Yes.
And that love and respect is under the umbrella of teen dating violence and our future. And that future being young people. And so to introduce these amazing guests, Holly, Judge Herman C. Dawson in Prince George's County began to see an alarming problem in his courtroom, that there were a number of cases coming into the courtroom that on one level or another had at its core teen dating violence issues.
Yes.
Well, rather than just talking about it, Judge Dawson decided to do something. And back in the day, our assistant state's attorney was a clerk. Back in the day. And he tasked her with this initiative of the Prince George's County Teen Dating Summit.
Yes.
And so now the Teen Dating Initiative has joined with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, and we are having a phenomenal teen summit on September 12th.
February 12th.
I'm sorry, February 12th.
September. We got them here a little early. Okay, February 12th.
Thank you. February 12th.
Valentine's Day weekend.
Just before the Valentine's Day weekend. So, ladies, welcome. Introduce yourselves.
Yes, welcome,
it's
welcome,
your
welcome.
Moment. Tell us about the Teen Summit.
Well, thank you for having us. We're so excited to be on True 360.
Yes,
today. Right there.
There it is.
Done by the wonderful Carlotta Wade.
That's by the way, a starving artist.
Starving artist. So
Look
look up.
We are all about shameless promotion.
Absolutely. So
Well,
what's
this-
going to happen?
This summit is going to be on February 12th, like Jennifer said, from 6 to 9. We kind of started the summit back in 2011 when we started seeing an alarming rate of young people come into juvenile court with domestic violence charges, which is something that kind of exploded out of nowhere.
Wow.
So we started the summit. Last year, we had over 500 teenagers, which is a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it is.
And then the lieutenant governor, Anthony Brown, at that time, he was our keynote speaker. And that same year, we learned that Park and Planning had their own DMV Hip Hop Teen Dating Violence Summit.
Wow.
That this year we were like, let's just join forces and make this bigger and better and more amazing.
Awesome.
So
I
this
love
year, we are having an actual teen summit, just like BET.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
Very excited.
We are at the forefront of the petition to bring back Teen Summit for BET. So
Yes. You know what? And guys, we might have some connections to make that happen.
Absolutely.
Teen Summit.
So what we're doing this year is we have been educating a panel of teenagers that is actually going to spit back information to their peers about dating violence. And we are going to have experts on each panels, and the panels are going to be talking about physical violence, emotional violence, cyber violence, which is something new that we're doing this year, and sexual violence.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Physical, emotional, cyber, and sexual violence.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So
Now we're gonna have to break that down a little bit.
educate us.
Yes,
I was
we
gonna
need
say
we
so.
need some
for the old
examples
folk
or
in the house.
definitions of what that looks like, and particularly to the young people who may be listening or their parents who are listening who will tell them about it later. Break those subjects down for us.
Sure. Well, I just want to first start by saying what we might consider violence, our teens might not consider it violence. We live in a time now where violence is acceptable. It's okay to hit one another.
Yes, that's
I
a
never
true
thought
statement.
I'd see the day when it was okay for young ladies to hit boys and think that it was okay.
Right.
But now that we have social media, we see a lot of this on the internet, on YouTube, and on social media. So we do see a lot of that.
Yes.
So I know it was dear to my heart to have something of this magnitude for our young people. February, if people didn't know it, is Teen Dating Violence Month. Teen Dating Violence Month in February.
Yes.
And that's why one of the reasons why we kind of like had it in February.
Right.
Physical, I would say, is any type of relationship you in and want each other or putting their hands on each other.
Right.
For any reason. Sometimes we so-called play and it gets serious, or sometimes we express our love physically, and that's not how we want to express our love. So some people think, oh, he still loves me, and that's how he expresses his love, by putting their hands on me. And we just want to give them some information on that is not love, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know.
Yes.
And we're coming together to teach our young people about what love really looks like.
Exactly.
And it doesn't look like anything that's physical.
And go ahead.
And moving on to emotional is a little more
That's
nuanced
what I was gonna ask.
than
Okay.
physical.
You read my mind. Okay.
So
Yeah.
what we're teaching them about emotional violence is whenever your partner is trying to control you,
Yes.
whenever they're telling you, you can't talk to this person, I don't want you talking to boys, I don't want you
Right.
hanging out with this certain clique at your school,
Right.
that's more controlling and that's more emotional. Also, when they're calling you out your name, when they're spreading rumors about you, when they're threatening, I'm going to spread a rumor about you that you are a hoe, basically. That's a part of emotional violence. So something that the kids think is just, oh, he's just playing, or he's not serious, or it isn't me getting a black eye, so it's not dating violence. But we're teaching them, no, that's actually
it's still violent,
dating
and it's
violence.
actually worse, because that's the kind of emotional violence in the DV world, adult DV world, that causes a deeper
domestic
scar.
violence.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you. Domestic violence.
Because I was like, DV.
Domestic violence. That we see the emotional, the physical violence. It's always said the physical wounds will heal, but the emotional scars, the fear, the kind of walking on eggshells, and now you gotta be less of who you are in personality because you're trying to fit into someone else's reality, and that threat.
Right.
Not knowing when it's going to cross the line and become physical.
Correct.
Okay, so we have physical and emotional, cyber.
So, cyber, we all know about, well, I mean, some of us know about IG, so that's Instagram, Vine, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. These social media sites are becoming a breeding ground for dating violence for teenagers. So whether it is a teenager posting a naked picture of another teenager. Wow. So what we're seeing a lot now is a lot of cyberbullying, where the children will be sexting each other, and what sexting is sending a naked or nude picture of yourself or someone else
and
to
who started
another party.
that madness anyway? That was just crazy from the word jump. I don't know where it came from, but they need to quit that.
Well, studies show
Grown
that
people too. I'm saying,
Exactly.
when did that become a thing?
A lot of times, studies have shown that a lot of teenagers, especially girls, get pressured into doing it from their teenage boyfriend, where he'll say, well, if you love me, you will send me a naked picture. I'm your boyfriend. If you don't send it to me, I can just find another girlfriend.
And my response would be, if you don't want my foot up your ass, you need to stop asking me stupid ass questions like that.
See,
I'm
older,
sorry. Go ahead.
Now, and we
I'm with you though. I get it. I'm with
we
you.
all in the love, and he's so cute, and he's so cool.
And we've been together for one whole month.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Right.
Hey, that's a lifetime for me, so I get it. All
But
right.
even today, I mean, you think about somebody taking a picture of me like with my arms out of place, and I'm all upset about it, like, why you got that picture of me on Facebook?
Right.
And so I can't even imagine being young and being faced with so much.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and what do you do? So we have one more category before I start asking, how do we help and what we gonna do?
Yes.
The sexual teen dating violence.
So we're trying to be as explicit as we can with the teenagers because they're hearing it.
Because that's the world they're in.
Right. That's really the world that they're in, and that's what they're hearing. So a lot of times, and girls and boys, but we're seeing more so with girls, will get pressured into having sex from their boyfriends in order to prove whether I love you or we're going to be together. So they don't realize that date rape is real.
Wow.
And that is a form of dating violence. It's date rape and someone pressuring you to have sex or have any kind of sexual acts with them. So we explain to them what date rape is and how you can be a victim of date rape and not really even know it.
That it was a violation, because that's what I try to, when we're as adults talking about, and that's why I'm so excited about the work you're doing, because you work with young people, you've been engaging them for years, and sometimes we just don't get it. We forget how it felt when we were 14 and 15 and especially 16 as seniors in high school at 17, how we felt like, oh, this is my whole world and we're going to be together forever and I just love him. And it takes an army. Know, if you don't have like your parents and your aunts and your cousins
and a mentor
checking you and saying, hey, hold up. You know, and I can tell you, I will admit, I was a freshman in high school, little freshman in the line in the cafeteria to go and get my food. And my older sister was 2 years older than me. So one of the juniors, one of the boys who was cute, and all the girls were like, oh, he's the cutest thing since sliced bread. You know, so for him to know my name made me really cool. Wearing glasses and a nerd, but I was cool. And I remember when he came up to me, because he knew my name, and he said, hi, Jennifer, and they were like, oh, he knows her name. And he came and like put his arm to say hi to me. And one of my older family members was working on the shift in the cafeteria. Oh, and it was like the world army. Don't touch her. What's wrong with you? And he turned, and I just remember that I was innocent. I wasn't doing anything. Right. And who knows? I think he was innocent too. But just that army and village. Right. And in today's society, the technology just blurs all of that. There is no boundary.
Mm-hmm. Right. Correct. There's not. And see, the problem that we're finding, especially in the state's attorney's office, is I'll go out and do cyberbullying seminars. Myself and Donnie and Carrington, who is one of our chiefs in the child abuse unit. Hi. And the parents won't even know what their kids' Instagram names are, or their Facebook names, or their Twitter names, and it kind of amazes.
So you need to know all of them,
right?
And
like you own the phone.
That was actually going to be one of my questions because I feel like, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I feel like parents might feel like this sort of oversteps the line for government and agencies to get involved in their kids' personal lives like this. And what do you say to those who might have that opinion?
Well, one thing I want to say is, just to piggyback on what Christina said, is a lot of young ladies feel like because they're dating that it's okay to have sex because he is my boyfriend. They don't understand that you can date someone and not have sex with this person
and still have a meaningful relationship. So healthy relationships are important. So
very much important. But one thing, to answer your question, one thing that I believe is, again, the whole village. And I think there's certain things that we can maybe add that parents may not be in touch with, that we're more in touch with certain things that's going on, trends, fads. That we have that parents might not have. That's why a lot of times parents do attend some of the workshops that we have. That's why we give out information. That's why we're having something like the Teen Summit, so parents can come and get the information too. Because some parents just don't know. So
parents are invited to this as well.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say to a parent, you can't come, but we want your child to come. It's really difficult to say that. I think I might have some problems like I can't come, but my child can come.
Right.
But what we try to do is have the parents come, and maybe the parents get some information too, because we are going to have vendor information for parents who might be having some challenges with their daughters about certain things. Even some information that we're telling the teens about, the parents can get the information too, so they can pick up on the signs. Right. So when their children are at home, they'll know what's going on, because sometimes you just don't know, and we always think our children are just so innocent and so wonderful, and not my daughter or not my son. And sometimes it's right in your own home.
You know, it's funny, Jennifer, you mentioned your first experience and how it was maybe innocent, maybe not, but that you had that village. I actually, thinking back, had I was in the 7th grade, and there was a guy at school whose first name is Nathan. I won't say his last name.
Yes.
But he was known as the Kissing Bandit.
Ooh.
And it was seen kind of as, it's funny because looking back, even then my mindset was, this is funny. Until it happened to me. And what he would do is he would sort of randomly streak through the halls and push girls up against the lockers and kiss them and then run away.
Right.
And it happened to me, and it's funny, I don't think I reported it or anything. I did kick him and hit him in the shin, and he was like, ow. But the point is that I'm not even sure why course in that moment I felt violated. I'm not sure up until right now, actually, if you had asked me about it, if I would have categorized it as an assault.
Right. And I completely agree with you, because
he kissed like everybody. I mean, he was. It's funny, but it's not funny. But he was running, and the thing is that schools, where I was going with that, is that administrators knew about it, because it was kind of a funny thing, and nobody reported it or complained about it, which seems asinine now. But also, I'm thinking back to the fact that the school knew about it and really took no action, because he would just, and it wasn't every day or whatever. He was an 8th grader, so the little 7th graders, we were kind of like, ooh, the Kissing Bandit,
Until it happens, and then you have that memory, because I can tell you, it's a thing I always feel sensitive about. I remember the first time someone gave, how you have Christmas parties and you giving gifts to your friends, and it used to be those little Tootsie Roll packs that now with 10 or 12, and this boy gave me a gift, and it was unexpected, and And then on the school bus home, he thought he had the right to kiss me because he gave me a gift. And I remember being so upset, like going home telling all my brothers, like, oh my God, this boy tried to kiss me. And it's such a violation. And that's, for me, remembering innocence. But then thinking about the teens to be escalated to the point of spreading a horrible rumor, hitting you, and the control. You know, that's my button. You just don't confine me. Don't tell me where to come and go. So I'm sitting here with like action items like, okay, I know I want a list of passwords and names. Every mom and dad should be getting your, because I thought it was just me being strict, but my sons, it's like I don't even go on to their social media that often, but it's a requirement. Like, oh, what's your password? And they're just like, oh, mom, it's this, and they're so used to it. So what kinds of things can we do both for parents, and then let's talk about the teens?
Yep.
So for parents, really, like I said before, getting passwords, getting usernames, because you definitely need that as well. What I tell parents in sessions are, if you pay the phone bill, you should be able to ask for the phone or demand the phone, because that's your property. But in addition to that, I would say educate yourself on who your child's friends are. You really have to know who your child's friends are, who their friends' families are, because if you know your friends, you can tell your future. So if your child's friends are a lot of people that you feel like are bad influences on them, or if your child's friends are also people that you see exert too much control over them, then you need to have a conversation with your child. And on the other side, if you are a teenager who has friends that are exerting negative control over you, you probably should get out of that friendship, because you don't really want to be what we call a flunky at the end of the day. And especially if they're someone of the opposite sex who you believe to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend, if they're controlling you, that's not love. That is control. So one thing I would tell for teenagers is to come to the summit or other things like the summit, so that they can understand exactly what they're seeing when they feel something wrong. Because you normally feel in your gut that something's wrong.
You know when you're like, this is not safe.
Right.
This is a
you just
violation,
can't pinpoint it.
But you can't pinpoint it. And that's what I always say. Because you didn't punch me in the face and I don't have a knot to say, look, right here, he hit me. People make you feel, what's the new phrase? Some kind of way, like you confused.
But it's okay. One of the things we're going to talk about it's okay to feel some kind of way.
Good.
It's okay to talk about it to someone, because sometimes we don't want to talk about it because we don't want that kind of spotlight on us, being called a snitch or being called somebody who's not having fun. So I know one of the things that we talked about with our panel is it's okay to talk to somebody about some of the things that's going on. It's okay to say, okay, you know what, this happened to me and I don't like it, instead of just hiding it because you think people not going to believe you, or two, think something is wrong with you because you reported it. But it is okay, and those are some of the things that we are definitely going to talk about.
Right, and that's one of the other reasons why we set up the summit this year the way we did, to have the teenagers educating their peers, because a lot of times us as adults, we can say things 20 million kabillion times, right?
Blah, blah, blah.
But if they're hearing it through their peers, even though they don't know that it's us talking to their peers, telling them pretty much how to convey the information, they're more apt to sit up and listen, to really take to heart what their peers are saying. And some of the things that we've been talking to our panelists about is personal stories. So whether they know someone or they are someone that's been involved in any of these four dating violence subtopics, giving stories about how they helped someone get through it or how they themselves got through it.
Okay, and we have a caller on the line. Hello? Are you still with us? Hello? Yes, introduce yourself. How are you? Hello? Yeah, tell us who you are. Yeah, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. And you're listening to Truth 360 today, and we're talking about teen violence. Do you have a thought on that?
I do. I think it's a big issue right now, and it's something that a lot of kids are like involved in, who are dating, and they don't know how frequent it happens when it comes to teens and dating.
And so, Victoria, we're so happy to have you on the line. and you sound like you're a teen. Tell us, Victoria, what do we need to do to help you?
Can you say that again?
What do we as adults need to do to help teens who are facing and dealing with teen dating violence?
Honestly, I think that parents should probably sit down and talk to their kids about it, kind of educate them, because they might not know that what they're going through is actually a form of dating violence.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
And is this Victoria Gardner? Victoria?
Yes.
Is this Victoria Gardner?
Yes.
She's one of our panelists, actually.
Victoria, welcome.
Welcome
We are
show.
so excited, Victoria. I remember being in listening in on a strategy and planning meeting, and Christina was so excited that they were going to do this panel, and she and Carlotta were ready to train people, I think, with Christine, right? And I said, it's such a beautiful thing. So what else, what we're trying to do, Victoria, because most of our listeners on Truth 360 are engaged and active adults. And so we want to highlight the Teen Summit and make sure that students know about it, their parents know about it, but to really have our listeners to really engage young people and have some tools. Like, I'm very interested. I used to keep a list of all of the cool texting words, so that, because a lot of adults would not know what the an acronym stood for, the abbreviation stood for. And so I'm excited about you being on the panel. What else do you want to share about the event, or anything you want to share with us about your role on the panel? What's the experience been like?
Well, I think that the Teen Dating Violence Summit is something that a lot of people can participate in, both male and female, and also not just teens, but also the parents of teens, so that they can also learn to look out for warning signs also.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm actually kind of excited to be on the panel.
We're excited to have
I don't
you.
date, and I never have, but I have a lot of friends who are dating right now.
Yes.
I think it's awesome, and I think that you can wait to date. I really tell you, I tell my teenagers, when you get to college, that's your time to explore. So don't feel like the odd man out because you're not dating. I think
Absolutely.
it's awesome.
Absolutely. And tell us, you have to give us one quick advertisement. Tell us why other teens should attend the Teen Summit.
I think you guys should come out, whether you're dating or, someone who is dating. Like, it's really good to learn about teen dating violence so that you can know the warning signs in your own relationships, and also so you can help a friend if they're going through something like that.
Absolutely.
It's just good to be educated about the subject.
Absolutely. Well, Victoria, thank you so much for being a part of the Truth 360, and thank you so much for taking the time to help educate other teens. We always applaud leadership, and we especially applaud leadership in young people, so we really appreciate your efforts, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the Teen Summit. We can't wait to see you on panel.
We can't wait to hear you. Yay. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you.
Can I just say she's one of my diamonds? So I'm
Yes,
super,
she is.
yes, of course she is.
Tell us about the Diamond Program.
So,
please.
sidebar, the Diamonds Program is a program that I run through the Women's Bar Association of Prince George's County, which I am the president of, where we have girls between the ages of 13 and 17, and they receive monthly seminars on college preparation and professional development.
Awesome.
So, last month, actually, they had a seminar on how to brand yourself.
Yes.
So they had to create mini business plans and present their business plans and talk about branding within their dream business.
Oh, that's after my
that's
own
awesome.
heart, right? At Truth 360.
Yes, we love
Leadership
it. We
branding and
love
pouring
it.
into young
We
people. Big up for the
absolutely
Diamonds
love it.
and the Prince George's National Bar Association.
Absolutely.
And Christina, you and Carlotta do so much work. Before we go to break, is there anything you want to share, Carlotta? You want to wait until we come back about all the great work you do with teens and extreme teens?
I can wait till we come back.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break. This is the top of the hour, and we're going to be listening to what we got going on.
Mary J. Blige. It's a Mary J. Day, and
we
now
love
we
Mary.
want teens and their parents to know that everything is going to be just fine.
You know I love music. And every time I hear something hot, it makes me want to move. It makes me want to have fun. But it's something about this joint right here. This joint right here, it makes me want to let it go. Can't let this thing called love get away from you. Feel free right now, go do what you want to do. Can't let nobody take it away from you, from me, from we. No time for moping around, are you kidding? And no time for negative vibes, cause I'm winning. It's been a long week, I put in my hardest. Gonna live my life, feel so good to get it right. So I like what I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past the mirror. Don't stress through the night at a time in my life, ain't worry about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it. See, I wouldn't change my life just fine, 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 fine. Ooh, fine, 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 fine. Ooh, just fine, 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 fine. Ooh, see, I wouldn't change my life just fine. Feels so good when you're doing all the things that you wanna do. Get the best out of life, treat yourself to something new. Keep your head up high in yourself, believe in you, believe in me. Having a really good time, I'm not complaining, and I'ma still wear a smile if it's raining. I gotta enjoy myself regardless. I appreciate life, I'm so glad that it's fine. So I like what I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past the mirror. Ain't worried about doing what you're gonna do, I'm a lady, so I must stay classy. Gotta keep it high, keep it together if I want to get better. See, I wouldn't change my life just fine, 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 fine. Ooh, fine, 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 fine. See, I wouldn't change my life I ain't gonna let nothing get in my way. No matter what nobody has to say. I ain't gonna let nothing get in my way. No matter what nobody has to say. When you're doing all the things that you wanna do, get the best out of life, treat yourself to something new. It's a really good thing to say that I won't change my life just fine, 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 See, I won't change my life just fine. I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past the mirror. Don't stress through the night at a time in my life, ain't worry about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it. See, I won't change my life just fine, 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 I won't change my life just fine.
All right, welcome back to Truth 360 by Black Dress Collaborative. Oh boy, we are talking about teen dating and violence, and let me just say, harken back to interesting days in my life. And also had the opportunity, a blessing really, to have teenagers in my home, and so I raised some foster children during their teen years, 2 girls, so I have both the scars and the reward from having done so. Well, the phone lines are just really hot, so we're going to go kind of in order here.
And Holly, before you bring a guest on, there was a young lady who just called the Black Dress Collaborative line, and it did not register your cell phone number. So if you can just call me back, please call me back so that I can answer, and I will live on the radio get you on the air.
Absolutely. And if you're listening in and you want to be a part of today's conversation, give us a call at 567-704-0832 and enter the code 2014.
And Holly, we should introduce ourselves
more
time.
Well, there you go. I'm Holly Holiday.
And I'm Jennifer Jones.
And we have in the studio with us
Christina Jones.
Carlotta Wade.
Yes, and we are talking, as I mentioned, about teen dating and violence. Teen dating and violence don't necessarily have to go together, but all too often they do. So I want to go to the phone lines first. And if your phone number ends in 0167, you are live on the air. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Nicole Johnson, and I'm a 15-year-old student at Flowers High School.
Well, welcome, Nicole Johnson, to Truth 360. Tell us your thoughts on teen dating and violence.
I think it's a lot going on. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
I have a couple of friends who've experienced it, and I just think that, we need to really help girls and guys out. Because it's, I think it's about low self-esteem. So when you hit somebody, it's just because you don't know how to speak or get your voice out there.
Oh, I could not agree with you more. I do think that is a chronic thing. And frankly, not just young girls, but old ones too. We battle with our self-esteem issues. And so I think it is important to kind of get those tools.
And so, Holly, let's ask our guest. Nicole is highlighting that self-esteem issues and help is needed. What kinds of things do you provide in your work that could help young people to raise their self-esteem?
Sure. One of the initiatives that we have in Park and Plan is called the Power of She.
Yes.
And what that initiative is, it assists young ladies with self-esteem. It lets them look at local leaders that look like them, that go through some of the things that they went to, and be able to ask them certain questions. The Power of She also deals with young teens who are looking for answers and don't have to go to a Beyonce, don't have to look at anyone on TV. However, they can look at our local leaders. Christina just hosted one of our shows called the Me I See Symposium.
Yes.
And what we did was we talked about how the media dictates how we want to look. So the long hair, the light skin, the being real thin. And we actually had a panel of young ladies and young men that say, hey, you all are beautiful just the way you are. And for them to hear that from some people that are locally and not to hear that from people that they don't know, it really meant a lot. After we did our surveys, a lot of our teams said that it meant a lot to see people who look like them, who talk like them, and said it's okay to be who I am.
That's awesome.
Awesome. And we have another caller on the phone. If your number ends in 6024, introduce yourself and welcome to Truth 360.
Thank you. I'm Fox, and I'm 13 years old.
Speak up a little bit. We just didn't catch all of that.
I'm Sparkle from and I'm here.
Awesome. And what do you have to say about teen dating and violence?
I've never experienced it.
What?
And I don't really think but how that people can get help.
And so what we having a bit of a bad connection, but what we think we heard you say was that you've not experienced teen dating violence, but you know that it's happening, and you really want to tell your peers to get help.
Yes.
Awesome. And where are some of the resources that they can utilize to get help?
Give me your number.
Experts? Where can they go to get some help?
Well, one place that they can come is there are so many mentoring programs in Prince George's County and in D.C. in general that provide self-confidence for these young girls and young guys. Like I said before, Diamonds is a program that I run. And one thing that we try to instill in our young girls is how to find their voice.
Yes.
So we give them public speaking classes. We challenge them with debates. We really teach them, because sometimes it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. Like, they all know that I have my Wonder Woman pose, and any of them can tell you once Christina gets in her Wonder Woman pose, that means you need to listen. Where it just provides them with a way to find out how to actually have confidence in what you say and the things that you do. So my advice would be to plug into a mentoring program. There are so many of them. Really, all it takes is Google mentoring programs in Prince George's County or in D.C. I know that if you call me at the State Attorney's Office, Christina Jones, State Attorney's Office, Prince George's County, I can hook you up with some mentoring programs that, and a lot of them are specific to types of people. So you have mentoring programs for girls between the ages of 9 and 12 or 13 and 17, or girls that have been involved in the court system, or girls that's been abused, or girls that have straight A's. Like, there are all kinds of programs. But
So
those really are the
and we
key.
can find one out there for you.
And we have a lot of them that meet in our community centers.
Okay.
So we have a lot of community centers that have mentoring programs where kids can come and walk if they need to, or parents want to drop them off. And most of them are free. Some of them might have a little fee, but the fee, we don't turn anybody away.
All right. Well, our phone lines are hot today. It's amazing. I love having the kids on. All right. If your phone number ends in 5812, you are live on the air. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Amber.
Hi, Amber. Welcome to Truth 360.
How are you?
Oh, we're doing just fabulous. Thank you so much for calling in. Please share your thoughts with us on teen dating and violence.
Actually, I haven't in any situation, dealing with teen dating, violence throughout me. But I have, and when it comes, really, I feel like when it comes, like the previous caller said before, you have to have, because it takes a lot for a person to, have control over another. It's up there, and you know your worth. And today, society breaks down. So if you don't look like, don't act, don't dress like this, basically, all in all, you're basically, worthless. Like, if you don't look like Kim Kardashian, don't look like Beyonce, and it's really easy in today's society for male or female to be down their significant others.
Hello.
Have low confidence and low self-esteem.
Did you get the number from me?
Like, okay, well, this person, loves me, so they know what's best. And all in all, that's not the situation. And it's just, I guess it's hard because of, the media that deal with it. That's my part.
I agree with you, and I think that speaks to your point in terms of the media and what people see and the images that they see, and the importance of having local leaders and really just local adults, period, to be involved in teens, to give them some other role models.
Because the problem now is, like she said, your role models are Kim Kardashian, the Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. Your role models are people
which are not ideal,
who engage in confrontation, to put it mildly.
Yes.
That involve violent behavior that have no consequences.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times we are seeing kids commit offenses and think that, I just punched her in the face. So they do that on Basketball Wives, and then nothing happens. They're on the next episode. But then now they're in juvenile court for their second-degree assault charge.
I remember there being a young teen who got into a fight. Never been in trouble before, but this particular day she wore her mom's stilettos to school. There was a fight, and she wanted to prove she was tough and got involved. the heel from the stiletto punctured the other child's abdomen, and she ended up causing the child chronic problems, and she got arrested, adjudicated over trying to fit in and participating in violence. And so to even take that into your interpersonal relationship, I think that it's about boundaries, that once you embrace a violent behavior and confrontation and this at-risk behavior, or let me say this less than desirable behavior, you set yourself up for crossing the line and not being able to contain yourself in relationships, and it just exacerbates. So I'm excited about the callers. What can we do for you? Can we do another roundtable of the callers to ask them? Callers, we want to know if you could give us just one or two things that you love to hear us do. So I think, Holly, you did it by last 4 digits.
Yep. So let's hear from Nicole.
Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Nicole, what can we do to help your peers that you see whose lives are impacted by teen dating violence?
I think this is a start. It's just, having more conversation with teens and letting them know that you are there, you do understand. But I think this is the start of it. The programs that you guys are having, and I'm very interested. I know that I went to a Most Wanted program last year.
Okay, wonderful.
I think it was at Newton White Mansion.
You're getting the thumbs up here, so you're on the right track. Yes, we're all smiles at the table.
That was the name of the Teen Summit last year.
And,
okay, perfect.
It was a good arena for us. I think we had fun there, and we learned a lot. And I heard, I forgot the lady's name, but I heard her mention the Power of She program.
Yes.
I went to one at Huntington last year, and it was very nice because it was something different. We had this painting and the poetry and music, and it was something that was awesome. But I just think that bringing these issues to light and having a place for us to go and talk about them and feel comfortable talking about them is a start.
Awesome. And I hope that you will plan to attend this year's Teen Summit as well on February 12th.
I do so. Is it the same place?
Is it at the same place as last year?
Actually, it is. It's at Newton White Mansion.
At Newton White Mansion.
Oh,
is there a website or something
friend.
that they can go to?
Sure. They can go to www.pgparks.com and go to Extreme Teens, and you can get all the information there. Or you can call 301-249-7200 for additional information.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope to see you there.
Okay, I'm gonna let you.
All right, Amber, what are your thoughts? Amber, you still with us? We may have.
Yes, I am.
There she is. Okay. What are your thoughts about what you'd like to see and hear?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your question.
I was saying, what are your thoughts about what you'd like to see and hear more on this issue?
Maybe more of this conversation. So maybe more other empowering young women, even on the subject, because this is a very good subject. Because way back, it really wasn't apparent that it was teens going through violent situations in relationships.
Yes.
It's just that, it's big and it's out there. Just like it's so I feel like girls, a confident boost, and like Paul said earlier, I'm 19. I know for a fact we as look towards the wrong role models. Like our mothers, our grandmothers, aunts.
Absolutely.
It's like in today's society we've been brought up to glorify other women who maybe in behind closed doors they don't glorify themselves.
Yes, it's true.
confident boost for because this is a very big
I agree.
of their lives or and everything, and it's just if we don't address it, it gets better.
Well, Amber, I could not agree with you more, and it's clear that you are a very articulate young lady. I hope that you too will be a part of the Teen Summit on February the 12th, and I couldn't agree with you more. We need to do a much better job of putting forth and putting attention on those positive role models. And more importantly, I think it's good that at the Teen Summit, you guys are going to focus on having youth talk to youth. So it'll be more peer-to-peer so they can see leadership within their own age group.
Right. Right, and that was really important to us. Is to have the peer to peer, and not just girls. We have boys on the panel too.
Awesome.
That will be there. So and the boys there during the sessions, their views on it are hilarious because they think of things that we don't think of things as women. Wow. So I think that having the male teen perspective is awesome and invaluable for these girls to hear.
To hear their thoughts. I think it's awesome.
All
and
right.
Holly,
well, thank you, Amber. We appreciate your views, and we hope to see you at the Teen Summit.
So fun.
All right.
And Holly, there's another young lady who has been persistent, trying to get in on the call-in line, and I'm going to try to connect her. Hello? Hello? Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes. Can you please introduce yourself to us?
Hi, my name is Deja Carrington.
One more time. Repeat your name.
Deja Carrington.
Hi, Deja. Thank you so much, Deja. I want to, before we hear your comment, we want to applaud your persistence and stick-to-itiveness to make sure that we hear from you today. So welcome to Truth 360. Today we're talking about teen dating violence, and what would you like to share with our listeners?
Well, I would like to share that dating violence is not okay at all. Dating violence it's more of a downplayed thing. Like, people don't think that it can happen to them, but it happens to a lot of people and they don't even know about it.
Deja is one of our other panelists for the Dating Violence Summit.
Awesome, Deja. We are so looking forward to you, and I want to thank all of you young teens for being willing to come and work with Christina and Carlotta and the team, the Teen Summit team, to be educated and knowledgeable and to share insight to ensure that we really do a great job of impacting youths. And Deja, I want to ask you, what do you think that our listeners are mostly adults? What do you think that adults need to do to help young people who are faced with teen dating violence?
I think that adults should listen to their, like, if somebody comes to you and says, I'm going through something in my relationship, and just listen to them and hear them out and then talk about a solution with them. Because when you judge them, it scares them away and they wouldn't want to come talk to you anymore. So be inviting and listen and help find a solution.
Well, we're just so excited, Deja, about all of you just making yourselves available. I can tell you that Christina's here smiling from ear to ear. Carlotta is, and Holly and I are as well. We are ever so proud of you, and a big shout out. We will see you on February 12th at the Teen Summit, where we'll be talking about teen dating violence. And I appreciate you and applaud you so much for your diligence and persistence today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, boy, we are just like overrun. I love all this participation, and I think we have one more caller who we want to have a final word from. Are you still there? Hello?
Yes.
There you are. How are you? We hear you loud and clear. So last question for the phone calls is to you, and that is, what would you like to see at the Teen Summit? What are some issues that you'd like to hear covered?
Well, my name is Kim, and I am Sparkle's mom. And one thing that I would like to see, Miss Carlotta Wade is doing an excellent job.
Oh, we think so too.
Yes. I introduced her, Kim. I introduced her as the youth extreme extraordinaire because since we met, she has a passion and a gift and a talent. Both she and Christina just have their hearts in the right place, but it's tailor-made talent for their personality.
Absolutely. That was so sweet, Kim.
And from all the programs that I've attended that she's put on have been very informative, very, very, very informative, and it's been good for my nerves.
Oh, good.
One thing I would like to add is I would like to see more programs geared to men. Yes, I would like to see more programs geared towards men because they encourage them. You know, they need to know things like, you know, even if they're not with the mom, that they're still the most important person in that child's life. To be a boy or, you know, so I would just like to see more programs encouraging the men.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you were mentioning, Christine, that you're actually expecting men on the panel this time, or we'll have some young guys on the panel and some men on the panel.
That's correct. And actually, last year we had too many kids. We had more boys than girls, which was a surprising thing. So we had a lot of boys, and actually last year we had breakout sessions, which is something that we're not doing this year because we have less time. But I hosted the sexting session where I taught them about what sexting is, how sexting is also distribution of child pornography, and how you can go to jail for 10 years.
Yes.
And I think I scared the crap out of all the boys.
I love
it. Realize
right. They're walking away on their phones deleting pictures as they came out of the session.
I had a similar experience. I spoke for the teen parents. Every year, the Stork's Nest and the lovely ladies of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated do an excellent job of bringing in the teen moms and dads in Prince George's County, and the class that I taught was about the legalities of sexting and texting, and they didn't realize that you can do 10 years quickly for those incidents. And so I'm just excited, and I'm hearing, Carlotta, we need to petition somebody. We need a master class that let the summit be the summit, and then something that we can do to continue to reinforce and keep this conversation going, because it's just been an extraordinary one. And Kim, thank you for calling in to let us know and to champion other parents too that there's value for you to attend this summit.
Not a problem. I will continue to support everything that they do because they do such a wonderful job.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for calling True 360. You know, I have to get into a little bit of controversy before we close this session out, and that is, as a person who parented teen girls, one of whom was a lesbian, what are you saying to the kids about teen violence and homosexuality?
I'm actually hosting a workshop on LGBTQ, on this Monday if it doesn't snow again.
Let's hope it does not snow.
What we're doing is actually training our staff to be able to recognize when they come in things to do. I know some of the things been asked, like about bathrooms, about safety for all teens who come into our buildings. So we actually beginning to tackle that population that I don't think we are as familiar with as we are with other teens. So right now we're in training. So we're training our staff. It's nothing more than coming to a situation and you don't know what to do, because just because we might think it's the right thing does not make it the right thing.
Absolutely.
So we have an actual professional that's going to come in and actually educate our teen coordinators on what to do when the population come in and how to program for that population. What kind of programs do we need, and how do we get them into the centers, and how do we get people to attend them?
Absolutely.
I just love you being at the forefront. I'm so excited.
I can tell you, I mean, my teens are now in their late 20s, so they're grown, real grown, and paying their own bills. Thank you, Jesus. But I can tell you that particularly my daughter, who is a lesbian, that she had an incredible time. And one thing that I can say that was a running theme with all of her friends and everyone that was a part of her community was they all had every single one of them had experienced some extreme incident of violence, not just the kissing bandit, which of course is assault and shouldn't be done, but something really negative happened to them, usually with a male person, but not universally. But every single one of them had, at a young age, because these were girls, and initially we're talking 12, 13, 14 years old. Yes. And every single one of them had, and I'm saying like 20 or 30 of them, right, had experienced some incident of violence. And so I just want to point that out, because I think that not understanding it, not having somewhere to go, not knowing how to manage it, cope with it, maybe even some prevention stuff, led certainly the women, the young ladies in my daughter's circle to have a really difficult time.
And absolutely, Holly, and I think it's so apropos to address the matter and have the conversation, make sure, because we're such a strongly faith-based community that is just starting to address the issue of LBGT community being in the church, and not being a church to scoff at and say this is unacceptable, but to deal with individuals no different than any other parishioner that will come in. And so I think that translates, and I'm excited again to hear that you're forward thinking and reaching out and training and just doing all of the things. It just speaks to the level of excellence and professionalism and commitment that you have, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
And so we're going to go to a song break and come back and let you guys wrap up and give us resources and tell us where we can go and how to get as many young people engaged with the Teen Summit. And I could think of no other song to lead. Some of the young ladies talked about self-esteem than Aretha Franklin shouting out for us about the RESPECT.
All right. Conversation when it continues during the song. I didn't get to RESPCT nothing, because we still talking, and we're gonna keep on talking But we have to wrap it up, and I want to just say thank you to our marvelous guests. You all have been such a pleasure. I want to say a special thank you to the teens and parents who called for making their points and asking their questions. We invite you to call and listen in to Truth 360 every week, and we appreciate you being a part of the show as well. Ladies, we are at the end of it, and we have to put a button on it. Can you believe the time goes by so fast? It does. Every week we're like, so much fun. Wow, we did 2 hours again. That's amazing. And what's funny is I still remember Jeremy going, I don't know if y'all can do 2 hours. 2 hours is a lot of time. 1 hour. I'm like, yeah, we got you. Don't worry. And every week I think, wow, that went quick. Exactly.
And something else that I want to add, Holly, to this whole matter of teen dating violence. One thing I heard loud and clear from the young people who called in that they want to keep the conversation going. And so we've been gracious and generous with exemplary guests doing exemplary work to make Truth 360 a home. And so when you have events coming, make sure we get the flyers, get the shout out, and you can call in and tell us about it. And of course, you're welcome to come back. We might be able to do a little bit of videotaping on Thursday. I will be at the summit. So just make sure we get some videotaping done so that we can share the outcome and keep this conversation going.
And I would even say, we'd love to have some of your teens come. So feel free to, maybe we can figure out a way to have them on the air sometime soon, live in the studio.
That'd be wonderful.
So, ladies, what's the wrap up? We're going to start with you.
Oh, you're starting with me.
Yes, I'm starting with you. What do you want to make sure that they know? What do you want to make sure that they know about the conference coming up and any other activities happening?
Sure. We just want to let people know that Parking Planning definitely is aware of the need of the community, and we're trying to continue to have programs that meet the need of not just young ladies, but all our teens, really the family unit. I hear so many people talking about it takes a village, but what happens when the village is broken? So one of the things that we're really trying to do, what I'm really trying to do, is to prepare to bring back the family entity that we've been missing. So we have a lot of programs that specify on families. So hopefully during the Teen Summit, families will come out and learn. Like we said before, we will have informational vendors. So if you have any questions about any teens that you have, foster children that you have, and you just don't know, because it is different from when we was growing up.
Absolutely.
We can't do what we did now, what we did back then.
Absolutely.
It just won't work.
And the cyber world has changed the game.
Changed the game, definitely, 100%. So we are asking that people come out and get information. We're asking that teens bring teens. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have food. We definitely going to have entertainment. So it's not going to be just kids sitting there talking. We are having ways that we're being able to relate to the teens. So it's going to definitely be interesting. And Christina's going to talk about how to register and give additional information.
All right, wonderful. To you, Christina.
Thank you, Carlotta. So you do need to register for the event in advance. Like I said
free,
last year, it is free. Last year we had over 500 kids. This year we want only 300. So you have to get in early. So if you go to the PG Parks website, there is a way that you can register on the website. Do you know the website exactly?
I do know the website.
Okay, see? There we go.
If you go to www.pgparks.com, it is a drop-down button that says e-store. Once you open up the e-store, you'll see something. The flyer actually pops up for Teen Summit, and you just go right in and register. Very easy.
Right. So even though it says store, it's free, but you got to register.
You have to register.
February 12th. 6 p.m., Newton White Mansion. So the Office of the State's Attorney is also one of the sponsors of this event. So shout out to Angela Alsobrooks, who is my boss, the State's Attorney, and the Honorable Herman C. Dawson, who was initiated this event almost 5 years ago now, who really had a passion or has a passion for youth. So shout out to him and Dariah Rose, who is his law clerk, who also is helping us with this event. Hi, Dariah. So please be there. Bring your teenagers. Teenagers, come with open ears, open hearts, open pockets, because you may get some prizes. We are super excited. We are super excited to have you guys.
And so, ladies, one more take-home message. What do you want teens to know? Because what I'm hearing is there's help, there are resources, mentoring.
Right, mentoring.
You just said it all.
And really to be yourself and believe in yourself. I know with the Me I See Symposium, really love the person that you see. If you love the person that you see, all of these issues that we're talking about, the Teen Dating Violence Summit, may not apply to you.
And I also want to just give a special shout out to my supervisor who gives me free reign. And when you have free reign to really be creative, it makes it so much easier. Yes. I hear people all the time that don't have that and it makes their jobs difficult. Mm-hmm. That's not the case for me. So I'm just really blessed to have. So thank you, Robin Oden, and Wanda Ramos. And I want to give another shout out to Laurie Smith and Anika O'Neill. Thank you, all.
Wonderful. Well, ladies, this has been a treat and a joy. We couldn't have done it better. You got to come back maybe when the weather starts to get a little warm and give the kids some refreshers and
summertime stuff.
Absolutely.
I know y'all got some prepare for the summertime.
And the diamonds, I'm like, oh, I want to go be with the young people. Bump the commission now. It's so fabulous. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for giving us the privilege and opportunity to highlight the Teen Summit. If we could just have the engineers put back on the flyer for the Teen Summit, and we're going to go into song break and thank our guests. That's February 12th, 2015, 6 o'clock p.m. at Newton White Mansion, 2708 Enterprise Road, Mitchellville, Maryland, 20721. You can register. You absolutely must register for this free event at pgparks.com. Is it .com?
It is .com.
pgparks.com, and you go to the e-store where you can register. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Oh.
Skies could fall, not even if my boss should call. The world it seems so very small, 'cause nothing even matters at all. Seem nothing even matters. Seem nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters at all.
Your love makes me feel 10 feet tall. Without it, I go through withdrawal. 'Cause nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing
These buildings could drift out to sea. Some natural catastrophe. Still there's no place I'd rather be. 'Cause nothing even matters to me. Seem nothing even matters. Seem nothing even matters to me. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters to
my identity. I sometimes have a tendency to look at you religiously, babe. 'Cause nothing even matters to me. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters to me. Sit it down, baby, baby.
Now you won't find me at no store. I had no time for manicures. With you it's never either or. 'Cause nothing even matters no more. See nothing, it don't matter. See nothing even matters no more. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters no more.
Now my team, let's go and make it to the 'Cause nothing even matters no more. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters no more. Nothing even matters. Oh, oh, oh.
You know, one day we're going to have a show. Welcome back to Truth 360. One day we're going to have a show where I just sing into the mic and look into the camera.
And get your sexy on,
yeah,
right?
Probably nobody would actually watch, and they certainly would turn the volume down.
No,
but
I think
that would be
great joy.
Yeah,
you
great
know,
humor. I
people
agree.
Are into, people are getting tired of reality shows and violence, but people are into transparency.
Yeah,
and just
I got the transparency.
You know, you get my emails sometimes. It's like Jennifer's having a music moment, and I just have a litany of music videos.
Exactly.
I get it in.
So what are your thoughts? We had a tremendous show today with lots of participation. I love that.
Yeah, Holly, I can tell you that I was just pretty excited about anything that you can do to pour into and enrich the lives of young people. I think that you are really a game changer, perhaps for some young people for the rest of their lives. And as I open the show saying that, you know, your teenage years are such a time of discovery, such a time of like new freedom, new hope, thinking about the future, and to think about someone's youth being cut off or stymied because of violence and pain. I just believe in James Baldwin. I remember reading this book, Healing the Shame That Binds You, by James Baldwin, and he was the person who said hurting people hurt.
Yes.
And he really drove that point home in the book, Healing the Shame That Binds You. And what I hope for every young person is just the ability to be the fullness of who you are. So if it's searching out mentoring programs, if it's just acknowledging that you're in something that you thought you could handle and you can't anymore, if it's going back to a parent to say, look, I know you tried to warn me and I didn't listen, but I'm listening now, and really to the parents and to the adults, all of the young people said, listen to us, talk to us, hear us out. And so there's a new phrase that the young people say, don't judge me. And so that's going to be my word regarding teen dating violence. I make everything into an acronym, so I'm calling it TVD. And for teen dating violence, don't judge the young people. Just help them. Give them information, resources, tools. Give them your energy and your time and opportunities to engage their peers and other adults in a positive and healthy manner. We all go through tough things in life. We all make mistakes. We all have those moments where we're in something and find out we're in over our head. But as my co-host always says, just because you made a mistake doesn't mean that it's irreparable. You don't have to make two.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whether or not if you are a teenager, whether or not you date or don't date, that's a decision for you and your family. For myself, I actually started dating quite young, 13, and looking back, it seems like that maybe was too young, but the reality, and I asked my mom about it, and she said, well, I wanted you to start when you were a teen. Well, she said, one, I want you to start when you were ready and you were mature, and once you start asking and you were following the rules, so it seemed okay. She said, but the other thing was, I wanted you to have some dating experience when you were still living in my house.
Yes.
So that I could help to guide you and give you that information, and so we could have those conversations about what happened. And she said, for me as a parent, it was scary as hell.
Yes.
But I felt like it was the right thing for you at the time because it gave us an opportunity to talk. And I think along with what you said and along with what our guest said, that's one of the most important things. You have to talk, but part of being in a conversation is talking and listening. And listening is extremely important. And I know, having had teenagers in my household and had teenagers when they're going through all of the difficult decisions that teenagers go through and balancing all of the things that are happening in their lives, I think the one piece of advice that I got from a very wise mentor who I affectionately call Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill was our youth leader when I was a youth, and he always just said, just listen. And that's what I tried to do when I took on teenagers myself. And I think that's what made our experience together successful for what it needed to be. And I think that's what they were needing when they came into my home. They didn't have anyone listening to them. A lot of people paying them attention, some of it negative attention, but at the end of the day, no one really just listening to them and trying to understand their point of view. And I know, trust me, I still have a 15-year-old nephew, and he says things to me, and I have no idea what he's talking about, and it seems like he is the craziest person in the world. Yes, Simeon, I'm talking about you. But the reality is that he knows he can always come to me, and I'm going to make a good faith effort to understand his point of view. And that's why having a village is important, because sometimes as a parent, your kids do and say things that just send you to a blindness that you cannot explain. But if you have an aunt or a cousin or a neighbor or a church member who's there to see it from a different perspective, to hear them when you can't. And trust me, as a person who's had kids, I understand there are those moments where you can't hear your kids. No matter what they say, you can't hear them. So the village is important. And I want to just thank, it's good to have these programs. And so stay involved, be a part of the village. If you don't have kids in your life, then you're not living up to what God has called you to do. If not in your household, in your village, be a part of the village.
And we're all for the village, listening and talking. And Holly, we have some quick announcements that I want to go through before we leave our audience with the hotline. So first, we have Open Heart on Friday, February 6th from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Sisters for Sisters Network, in partnership with Florence Champagne, are going to be having a panel discussion about heart disease. She's a heart survivor, has an amazing book, and actually she's going to be on Truth 360 next week, Wednesday, sharing a little bit about heart disease and women, and to be able to share with women who are in business and who are entrepreneurs how they need to watch for the signs, because our heart rate and our heart disease has rivaled that of men in the professional realm. Next up, Holly, we have the Lisa Project. And the Lisa Project will be having 2 events. One event, Lisa stands for Life Insurance Saving Plans, and this initiative is a financial literacy education initiative that's making talking about money fun. And so the Lisa Project will be having 2 events, one on this on tomorrow evening at 6:00 p.m. and I'll send out bonus content for the date and time at the Leadership Training Center in Lanham, Maryland. And then on Saturday, February 21st at 9:00 in the morning, there'll be a day committed to talking about financial literacy and empowerment among women. And then finally, we have the Women's History Month Luncheon that's on March 19th at 11:30 in Greenbelt, Maryland, and we'll talk more about that at that time.
And I just want to let people know to head out to Lido's in College Park at 4509 Knox Road in College Park, Maryland, to support the DC Pearls Foundation. Just go and eat pizza. That's all I'm asking you to do. And do that this Thursday, January 29th. And 15% of the proceeds will be donated to the DC Pearls 3 Foundation for scholarships and the mentoring programs that they do and a whole host of other things. So just go have pizza at Lido's this Thursday, January 29th, 2015.
Absolutely. And Holly, will end our show by saying that all of our teens and parents can go to loveisrespect.org for more information. Loveisrespect.org and Teen Line Online, teenlineonline.org for more information about teen dating violence and what you can do to start the conversation. We'll hear from you next week where we'll be talking about wealth and wellness, and we'll be talking about businesswomen, entrepreneurship, and health. Thank you, Holly, for making it another great day.
All right now. Be back.